Hey, Church at the Grove. Hopefully you're having a fantastic week. We just wanted to come to you for just a moment and just say how excited we are for all that God has done over the last 4 weeks as we've regathered together in our physical buildings. It's been incredible just to gather together and just to sing and to worship together as a church family, as well as still continuing our online ministry and seeing God work in people's lives and in our community in powerful ways through these gatherings. And we're excited about what is to come as we continue to regather. But there are a few things that we want to make you aware of as we move forward.
Yes, and we're taking every precaution in every environment to make sure that we're as safe as possible. We've opened up our Kids Grove environment, and they're taking every precaution for our children. We're still taking precautions with social distancing in our auditorium. And one of the things that we're going to ask you to consider, we have had a recent uptick in the number of COVID cases, if you probably have seen. We are familiar with some churches who have opened and have had to reclose and go back to online because of these COVID cases. And so what we're asking you to consider is wearing a mask. One of the things you'll notice this Sunday is more volunteers and more of our staff are going to be wearing masks. And we're not mandating this, and we're not saying it's a requirement for you to come to worship, but just our heartbeat is to follow the Scripture. And it says, the Great Commandment says to love Jesus with all of our heart and then to love our neighbor as ourself. And so we would hate for somebody to end up coming down with the COVID virus when we might be able to take a step as something as simple as putting on a mask to keep that from happening. And so following CDC guidelines and our governor and other experts, we're strongly recommending, although we're not requiring.
Awesome. And the main thing we would love for you to wear masks for is when you're entering and exiting the building.
Exactly.
Once you drop your kids off and once you find your seat in the auditorium, I think it's fine if you pull down the mask. It's mainly just when we are exiting and entering the building, just to kind of help with the crowd control there and just people getting a little closer than they need to be. And so we would love for your help in that. But regardless of mask and regardless of if you're joining us online or physically in one of our campuses, we want you to know that we as a church are still being the church in our local community. Absolutely. We've still been able to serve fish lunches every single week. We are hosting police banquets this weekend, baseball banquets for the high school the next week. We've got incredible things that we're still doing. And one of the things that we're so excited about in the weeks to come is Summer Jam.
Yes.
We hate that we can't do Summer Jam physically together, but we've got the next best thing. We're going to be doing a virtual version, a hybrid of sorts, of Summer Jam. And so we're so excited. Katie and Chelsea have been working, and their team of volunteers have been working so hard on getting this thing together. And it's going to be a fantastic event that you and your family and your kids don't want to miss. And one of the things that we're asking you to do is that if you do have kids, or if you live in a neighborhood or in a community that has some kids, we're asking you to maybe invite some neighbors, invite some friends to come and to join you and your family as you go through the Summer Jam program at your house. It's an incredible way for our church to still love on our community without physically gathering a bunch of kids at one building or another. And so we would ask you to consider that. You can go on our website, churchatthegrove.com, and you can register your kids to be a part of that. But we're excited because even though we're still limited in some of the things we can do, our church is still being the church in the community around us, loving and serving and sharing Jesus.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to see you either in person or online this Sunday.
Awesome. See you guys.